Go ahead and tell us all about yourselves. Who are you?
Oh, okay. Well, my name is Edie, and I'm outside of Chicago. And I am primas with Teddy, who is our co-host, co-founder of Wrestfriends.
Yeah. My name is Teddy. Sorry, Wrestfriends. I wasn't sure when to introduce myself.
we didn't plan our own intro either.
Yeah,
I know.
We're bad at that.
Go ahead, Wrestfriends.
Yeah, no, we're your Wrestfriends, your wrestling friends, all the chisme that you need for wrestling. We got it.
We love it. We're chismos us too, so.
Oh my God, we're gonna get along so well.
I felt it. I was like, ooh, you guys are Mexican, right? I was like,
How long have you guys been fans of wrestling? Like, what got you into it?
Oof, a very long time. I was very little when I started watching, but then I had a huge break because I wasn't allowed to watch him. My mom didn't let me. She wasn't cool with that. So it wasn't until I was around 11, 12 that I started watching again. And I was hooked. I thought everything was real. I was, and then I took another break after I turned like 15 years old. I took another break. And it wasn't until I was about 21 that I met my husband and he got me into it again. And ever since then, I haven't stopped being a fan.
Cute.
Yeah, my story is very similar. I've been watching since I was a kid. My mom was also very iffy about letting me watch, especially because it went on like past 10 p.m. It's a school night on Monday. Yeah. My mom was like, "Mija, ya te tienes que ir a dormir, like it's bedtime." I'm like, "Mom, hold on. It's not even main event time. How are you gonna like stop me from watching this?" But yeah, very young. I think my first match that I saw was like a chairs match. I was like, oh my God, it's so violent, but it's so cool at the same time. And it was just so exciting. I did have a little break too when I was in high school because, people were just judgy, but we're back here and I love it so much. And, I'm probably going to be a fan for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Love that.
Can't quit you.
when did you decide to like do your podcast together?
When did we started? What 2 years ago? Maybe
like 2 years ago. Yeah, and it was and first.
Yeah, so we started around January 2019, I think it was, and a couple months prior to that, in 2018, is when we decided that we wanted to do this. I brought it up to Edie, and she's like, "I've been thinking about that," and she is great. She knows how to do everything. She's like, "Okay, I know how to start a YouTube channel. I know how to start a podcast and everything." And she literally started everything for us. All I have to do is talk about wrestling. She does everything else. But yeah, we've been doing this for 2 years now.
Nice. So exciting.
Yeah.
Well, you were here to talk about your favorite WrestleMania moments, and you showed me a list, and I was like, "Oh heck yes, into it."
It's our Road to WrestleMania series, and of course, Al is always on topic with the shirts.
I like a theme.
She likes a
I'm
theme.
jealous of that shirt. I
love that. I love her whole setup. Both of you. All three of you have a nice little background.
Honestly, this is temporary. I gotta fix it and make it cuter. But you wanted to talk about John Cena's WrestleMania 25 entrance with I don't even know how many men there were as John Cena.
It was an army of Cenas.
Yes.
There were so many. I just remember watching this and I'm like, when is it going to end? I was like shocked, so excited. It was like surprising. I was like, I love John Cena, first of all. So for him to have that extravagant of an entrance, like if I was a wrestler, I'd have a million Eddies out there too. Like, and he went in there, it was like a triple threat match. I think what got me excited was that the storyline was like so good. Like Vicky Guerrero was like in a love triangle. There was so cheeseman there.
Oh man. I forgot that. I watched it back and I was like, oh, Edge was married to Vicky.
Oh my God. It was, he is the ultimate opportunist. So, I mean, it's going to happen.
Oh, by the way, she's not a big Edge guy. So just her opinions.
Adam Copeland is a cool dude. I like him. He's a great father, great husband, good actor. When at the time, I hated Edge so much. I don't know why. I was not an Edge head. especially about the Lita thing. People were so mean to Lita, and they were just like, "Woo, Edge!" And I was like, "What the?"
You're like,
That's
wait,
just
wait,
messed
wait.
up. That was messed up. So I kind of had a grudge against Edge. I kind of had a grudge.
Oh man.
I'm
but-
more of a Christian guy.
Oh,
Straight up.
I know.
Wait, do we have to take sides now?
I know.
Yeah.
Oh,
It
God,
is,
no.
it is a known fact that I'm not a big Edge fan at the time. I really, but when he had to retire, that was really tough because then I didn't have anybody to hate anymore. I was like, no, who am I gonna throw my hate at? Damn it.
Found people. Teddy,
Yeah.
Teddy, were you watching at WrestleMania 25? Did you see this?
I was not. No, I have no idea what went on.
Really?
There was
I
never
wasn't watching
seen-
wrestling anymore.
Big Show was there too. It was a triple threat match. So so Big Show was also Vicky Guerrero's lover. Okay,
Oh God, yeah,
which
Okay.
story?
It was a time. It was
Crazy,
a time.
craziness.
It was a time.
And John Cena in one part of the match, he was fighting with Edge, and Edge accidentally speared Vicky. It was a whole thing, but then John Cena won the championship, and I was like, oh my God, John Cena, I cannot believe it, my hero. You had the fantastic entrance, and there was pyro. I'm here for the pyro, like
always.
it's so exciting.
It really makes things. It's kind of telling of the time though too, because I want to say Eminem had an entrance like that for like a music award show where it was like a bunch of M&Ms and then of course John Cena had his whole hip hop thing. I mean, when that music hit, I rewatched it and the music hit and I knew every word and I was like, yep, word life. Word life forever. Word life forever. I was like, damn, I remember that. We marked out so hard for that because I mean, it was cool.
Yeah.
I bought
basic
it.
thugonomics, guys. It's just basic thugonomics.
Oh, it is.
That's the way you have to live your life. Honestly, you know what? When I was rewatching this, I was so excited that people weren't like singing "John Cena sucks." I'm like, oh, the good old days before everybody was a hater.
It was. I feel like that, like right before we turned on Cena, when it wasn't cool.
Yeah.
It was kind of like a mix.
Yes, like, but you heard people. He came out and everybody was cheering, and I was
Yeah.
like, oh, I was cheering too.
It was a good entrance. Like that was an epic entrance.
He has a lot of good entrances, though.
Mm-hmm. He does.
Yeah. And that one was definitely like WrestleMania worthy. I feel like it's gonna go down in history as like maybe top 10, like one of the best entrances. I love it.
Well, they use it in like all the like packages. You always see him running down all like with all the dudes just.
And then the cameraman who was kicking behind him, he was running at the speed of sound. Oh my goodness!
Trying to catch up. Those guys are talented.
Yeah. He's like Bianca. They're like Bianca Belair. They're just like going.
That's true.
Best friend, if you had to run behind John Cena, you think you could?
I wouldn't want to.
Like, I'll catch up with you later.
Yeah. I'll get there when I get there.
Let me just use the Zoom.
Yes, exactly.
Nah. I'll miss the shot. That was
a
fun.
good moment though.
And then Teddy, you wanted to talk about WrestleMania 22. Is this what I heard?
I did. Yeah, I mean, I do. WrestleMania 22 is so special to me for so many reasons. First of all, I was here in Chicago, but I wasn't allowed to go. I asked my mom for permission because one of my very good friends at the time was going with her family, and she was always inviting me to like Monday Night Raw, to SmackDown. And my mom was like, no, it's too, when my parents were like, it's too expensive. And so obviously I didn't go to WrestleMania. But my dad did buy me the pay-per-view.
Nice.
So I watched the pay-per-view at home, and I was already emotional because I wasn't there, But then, that was around the time when Shawn Michaels was, doing his whole born again Christian, and Vince McMahon was making fun of him. So like this match to me as a fan meant a lot. And while it was going on, I was crying. I was so emotional. I want to say, I think I was 13 years old at the time. So obviously I still believed all that stuff was like possibly a little bit real. And yeah, I don't know. It's a match that I think about all the time because I was a diehard Shawn Michaels fan. And I remember thinking, this is the best match I've ever seen.
He was still on point at this point. Like, he wasn't really showing any signs of like slowing down at all. So it felt like, oh, Sean is back. Like, we got Sean. We got him.
And he
started to break down a little bit, but yeah.
He had a lot of
hair. You're right.
He was still
Yeah, no, you're right. He was definitely still going at it. I mean, after he still had his Undertaker match after, you know, with the Undertaker match was still so very good. I think he even had the Ric Flair match after this WrestleMania. Yeah. So this was still like, I won't say peak Shawn Michaels, but he was still very, very good in the ring.
Yeah, he was back, like, because we hadn't had him for a while, and he came back. Yeah, I came back born again, but he came back, and he was still so good. He's still Shawn Michaels. He's still Shawn Michaels.
Yeah, and even though, you know, he had his moments where he was a baby face, and you just loved him for that, but then he would turn heel and be this, you know, the same Shawn Michaels that he always was as a heel. He was just funny. And no matter what, I loved it, especially when he would go back with Triple H as DX. Like, those were my favorite moments.
They were doing parts. I just watched it back, which I've not forgot, but it was like a deep in my brain about like, because then it turns into him tagging with God at the next pay-per-view. I forgot there was the weird promos, like clips, like packages before where he's talking to Stephanie's baby, getting weird. I forgot about that. Because they had the camera. They have it set up so you can see him like you're the baby, and so it's facing him, and he's like, "I'm gonna kill Shawn Michaels" or whatever that promo was. He's getting all crazy. Those were in deep recesses of my mind, and you brought it back up, and then Vince is doing his Muscle and Fitness cover. I forgot about it.
Yes,
and then he hit him over the head with said cover.
Yes, you're so
right. My God, that's right. I forgot about that.
I just watched it this morning, so it's still in there. Shane came out. Like, a lot happened that I forgot.
A lot happened.
Or Shane had to be in his dad's butt. Like,
yeah.
You're so right.
Shane has gone through it. Like, he has been in all the storylines. I remember DX made it rain on him. You know, you guys remember that? The porta potty.
He's like a masochist. He's a masochist for sure.
I don't know. I don't know how much so you're gonna like be in your parents, but nope, I can't.
All right, sounds good.
Nope. That was McMahon.
That's so true.
Can you imagine the conversations anytime Vince was like, "Oh, well, you have to do this. You know, you're my son. You're part of the family.
Like, you're an employee still."
Yes. Can you imagine him looking at his dad in the, you know, straight in the eyes after that even happened? Like, how do you look at your dad in the face?
Thanksgiving is weird.
Oh man. Oh no. The Spirit Squad came out. I forgot about that.
Yeah. I was like, what? That's something I completely forgot about too.
Yep. Little baby Dolph was in there.
The Spirit Squad.
Oh yeah.
Baby Dolph.
Yeah, baby Dolph.
Dolph's my favorite. So I love him. A lot happened. Then there was, he comes off, he brings a ladder. He like beat Vince. He went, and then there was some DX moments. He did some crotch chops, and then so then the end happened. Teddy, how did you feel at the end with that sweet super kick?
I was always a Sweet Chin Music fan, and so when I met my husband, he's like, I don't like it. I'm like, whatever. Okay.
Jealous.
Asked you. First of all, my opinion.
Right. I remember watching this, and first of all, I feel like Shawn Michaels was also emotional himself because of everything that had been going on with him and Vince. So, like I said, I was emotional. I was crying. He switched music him and he won. Are you kidding me? I was like, oh my God, that was like the best moment ever. I remember my family being so annoyed because in my home, it wasn't only me, my parents, and my siblings. I had an aunt and uncle that lived there as well. And everyone was just like, this is fake, da, 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 da. I didn't care. I'm like, I may not be there, but like, I'm so happy right now that HBK just won, you know?
You're like, I'm in the same city, so that counts.
Exactly.
Time zone. Right, we were like so close, but yet so far away.
Dang.
Yeah.
I had an opportunity to go to a signing for HBK, and I was not watching wrestling at the time. I was very like feminist, like WWE doesn't care about women, they just exploit them. So, but my brother, he's 4 years younger than me, and he was like, I'm gonna go meet HBK. Do you want to go with me? And I was like, no.
Isn't this like this is peak 90s, right? Like
I'm gonna
90s.
get you an autograph because I know you want it. And I was like, whatever. And then he came home with 2 autographs and he was like, here you go. And I was like,
oh, that's sweet.
Yeah, it was really sweet of him. But it's a moment in my life where I just hate little teenage me. Like, you dummy. You should have just gone. Yeah, so mad. Stupid little feminist Amelia. I mean, I'm a feminist still, but back then I was like, it was Shawn Michaels. Damn it. So bad.
90s
Won't ever forgive her for that.
Yeah, 90s Amelia.
Long hair Shawn. Now, you know, it's going to be like a regular haircut.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
It's an NXT cap now.
It would it would still be very cool, I guess, for me, because I have never met him. I've never had the opportunity to meet him. It would still be very, very cool. I think even after everything, because I don't know if you guys knew, but like he took a picture with that Tommy Lauren chick. And I remember I was so devastated.
Yes, we were like, oh, guilty by association. Like,
right. But you know what? After a while, I'm not even gonna lie. I'm just like, not that I don't know how to say it. I wouldn't let him slide with, such things. But I just think of myself as a child being a huge fan. And I'm like, if I got the opportunity to meet him, I want my inner child to be happy. So I think I would get emotional. Like, because like I said, I used to be in love with this man. Like, crazy.
Right. Mm-hmm. It's kind of like Jericho too, because we know his political beliefs. I don't agree with it at all, but damn, I'm going to be singing Judas if I see him, right along. I will.
It's like, it's so hard not to admit that someone like Chris Jericho is literally one of the greatest of all time.
Mm-hmm. Right. But also the worst politically.
The worst politically, of course. Yeah.
But the greatest, he's a goat. He's a goat. Shawn is a goat.
Yeah.
Amelia, just like you differentiate Adam Copeland and Edge, we have to separate
this is true.
Chris Irvine and Chris Jericho. Those are 2 different people.
I mean, I still, when it comes to Chris Jericho, I wouldn't want to meet him. I wouldn't buy his t-shirts or anything like that. You know what I mean? Yeah. But I'm still gonna watch his wrestling, and I'm still gonna be here.
If you saw him in the street, you'd be like, "Oh my god, it's Chris Jericho!"
Mm-hmm. Oh, right? No, for sure. I'd be like, yeah. Well, I'm not supposed to curse.
No, you can do whatever.
Oh, okay.
I guess that could transition because we're gonna go from one kind of politically, questionable person to another with WrestleMania 35 and Ronda Rousey. She's kind of a turf. She thinks women are biologically women, whatever. So, but she's part of who we wanted to talk about that match, right? The triple threat.
Yes.
Triple threat. That triple threat. Dang. Were you guys mad that was a triple threat? WrestleMania 35. It's Ronda Rousey versus Becky Lynch versus Charlotte Flair. What were your feelings going into that one?
And first of all, Ronda Rousey, when she was announced that she was going to be in the WWE, I was like, no, why is she coming in here to steal people's thunder? She doesn't need to be here. And they were just putting her in all of these matches. I was like, oh my God. And Teddy knows how I feel about Ronda. Like, I talked so much smack about her in the DMs. Like, she knows. And on our podcast too. But like, when they added Charlotte into the match, I was like, why? Why would they do this? Like, why did they need to make this a triple threat? Becky was fine. And it was, I guess, a thing against Vince too, that I was like, oh, they have to make him the bad guy. So of course he has to come out here and add another woman. But at the end of the day, I was like, okay, 3 women main eventing instead of 2. So I saw that as a little bit of a positive, so I wouldn't be as mad. That's what I tried to tell myself, at least.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree with you, Wrestfriends. I thought it was unnecessary for it to be a triple threat. I was like, here we go again, shoving Charlotte down our throats, even though I'm a huge Charlotte fan. I love her.
Same.
I was like, this is so unnecessary. Like, they're just stealing Becky's thunder. And I as well don't like Ronda Rousey, even though I love messing with Edie and be like, "Oh, your favorite."
Who's your best
I always
friend?
tell.
She literally will do that.
I literally will do that all the time. Because you hate her, like you can't stand her.
Did you any of you guys ever watch like MMA UFC stuff or anything?
There was one time where she
One
got
time.
her butt kicked, and that was the one
Yeah.
time that I watched it, and I was like, "Oh, this is so
Same.
good."
Same. That is the only time that I ever watched.
I think we both had the same sentiment of like, why are they putting Charlotte? It's unnecessary because Becky was fire. She was heat. She was fire at the time. They didn't need Charlotte. In retrospect, we were talking about this earlier. I was kind of like, you know what? Maybe I don't know. Would it have been okay though? Because Rhonda. I don't know if Charlotte, like if Becky, as good as she is, would she have been able to carry Rhonda? Like she needed maybe just an extra hand in that because Charlotte's just clutch. Charlotte comes in clutch.
Good.
Yeah.
We'll never know though. I would have liked to see it. I would have liked
never
to see
given the chance.
it.
How do I know? You didn't give it to me.
Exactly.
You
Like
didn't need
let
both
them.
titles.
And
Like, it didn't need to
honestly,
have.
Becky came from NXT, and when the women got the spotlight, they took it and ran with it. And I think put it on the spot. Like I had my doubts about her, but now that I think about it, if she was given that spotlight, she would have done magic with it. Like she didn't need Charlotte with her to do it. But we'll never know now.
Who knows? Maybe in the future.
I don't know. I don't want to see Rhonda come back.
No, without Rhonda. We can do this without Rhonda. It'll be Becky by herself.
Yes.
She's gonna main event alone.
Yeah, let her do it. She can do it.
She can do it.
She can do
definitely
it.
Can.
2020.
And then she ended up winning. She ended up winning both titles in this match.
Becky, 2
I was
belts.
crying.
Becky, 2 belts.
I was in tears because I didn't think that they were gonna let Rhonda get pinned. And it was like so sketchy. You know, there was like a little chisme, you know, that, you know, things were not supposed to happen like that. But I was like, it doesn't matter. I'm forgetting about that. Becky has 2 belts. Don't even talk to me.
Yeah, exactly. And there's moments between them too, like with the car moment with like the kicking of the glass. It's oh man, they did create some magic with that. It was good. I loved it.
I love when they all got arrested.
Songs that they had because of those kicks.
I love Charlotte was like, you know, to be fair, Charlotte was really like peak like bitchy princess heel, and it really worked.
Yeah, for sure.
She's like, I'm rich. I'm coming in my helicopter with these.
Oh
men.
my god,
I love that
pedigree. Okay, my dad is Ric Flair.
I have a helicopter jacket, and then I'm gonna put on my ring jacket. Like.
She did not have to flex on us that hard. That was just rude.
That was, I felt offended and poor.
I cries and poor.
You did not need to come in a helicopter. And then Ronda Rousey had
Joan Jett.
her theme song sung there. Like I was like, okay. And then Becky just comes out, which was totally fine, right?
But that's when Joan Jett was there, right?
Yeah.
She almost did a whole concert for Ronda Rousey.
Yeah, that was amazing. I was not jealous of Ronda, but I was like, why her? Joan Jett, do you know who Ronda Rousey is? Like,
she's like, how many zeros? Okay, sure.
That's true. That's true.
What can you do?
Becky came in. Oh, you had feelings, Amelia, about a makeup situation, I feel like.
Okay. I loved her hair. Her hair looked really good, but the makeup, like the eyes, like there was just too much. But I understand it's also Wrestlemania, so you got to go big. But then like Rhonda had like the black eyeshadow, and I was like, no.
Rhonda was always tragic. Always.
I never liked how Rhonda looked. She
could have given her,
like you said, tragic.
I know Rhonda got the budget for better gear. Like, come on.
Yeah, honestly, it's true. And so that was like like it's Wrestlemania.
Yeah,
go big.
Cool, right?
Yeah.
I was not a fan of Becky's hair, but only because at the end shot, it was like crazy. They should have just let her hair like just be down and like call it a day.
No,
or
she was her and Charlotte wanted that like crazy I've been through hell hair. Charlotte always has the hair where it's I'm gonna get it real nasty and then look just
That's
she
so
wants to
true.
look war. That's what
so
Becky
true.
was. She's like, I want to look like I've been through war.
But they did look. That's what they got.
Exactly. And that's what they graduated with. Like from NXT, if you look at Bayley, Sasha, Charlotte, and Becky, at the end of their matches, they looked like they've been through hell. Like that's just a staple of like their matches now.
Yeah.
They come in looking glamorous and then it's like trashed. It's great.
I love it. I love the aesthetic of
humanizing.
it.
Yeah. I love it too. Yeah, but you're right. Her hair was kind of it was so extra. I don't know. Becky had gone through a lot of different looks. So this was actually one where she just like nailed it. Like she got that badass look, you know, it was like, oh, that's a believable badass now. Yeah. Yeah. Good. It looks good. It looks good.
No, but can we all agree we're real tired? Because that went on a long time.
Yeah.
WrestleMania, it was exhausting. And people were saying that there was not as many hype for this match. But we had watched so many hours of WrestleMania already. I had to wrap myself up.
It was 9:00 our time, and I was still like, I'm tired. Like I'm at home, I'm tired. Like, I gotta go.
I want to go to sleep.
Like I worked.
That's why you got to pick the matches you're gonna take a quick nap with. Like, oh, Randy Orton. Okay, I'm gonna take a nap real quick. Wake me up when it's over.
Wake me up when the bell rings.
No offense to Kurt, but I was like, oh, Corbin, I gotta go. This is a bathroom break.
Taking a nap.
No Corbin for me. No, thank you.
I love that.
I really don't like Baron Corbin. But we have to wrap up, and I'm so sad because I love you guys.
Thank you so much for sharing your favorite WrestleMania moments with us. We love to hear people's experiences with WrestleMania or anything, Royal Rumble, all of it. So thank you for coming on the show and sharing all of that with us. We really appreciate it.
Thanks for having us on and thinking about us. We really appreciate it. I had so much fun.
I know.
Me too.
We'll have you back. We'll do something.
And we'll have you on too. Oh my god. Collab.
Ooh. Slowly.
Where can we find your podcast and you guys on the internet?
Do you want to say it?
You can find us on Twitter and Instagram at Wrestfriends, Facebook at Wrestfriends. We have a YouTube channel, Wrestfriends, and also a podcast, and it's the Wrestfriends podcast. And on our Twitter and Instagram bios, we have a link where it takes you to our link tree, and we have a bunch of links on there for merch and all this other stuff.
Cool. I need to get me a Wrestfriends shirt because it's cute. I've seen it, and I'm really excited for you guys.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much.
Thanks for coming on. Amelia, where can we find you?
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Daft Pansy. I just never changed it. I guess I could have, but I've had it since I was a teenager.
It's who you are.
It's appropriate. It's Daft Punk. They retired, so I'm like, yeah. See, I've been a fan since day one. But that's where you can find me at Daft Pansy. I'm trying to start Twitch now, but I don't know.
We need help.
I need help.
Anyways, you can.
What about you, Al?
Me? You can find me on Instagram at Al__yeah, 2 underscores, and on Twitter at Kayfabe Al. Follow the show everywhere: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter at Kayfabe Queens, YouTube. Search Kayfabe Queens. Podcasts. You're listening to it wherever you get podcasts. And we'll be back soon with more on our Road to WrestleMania series. Woo-hoo! Bye.